Hi guys, Suva here. As always, a bit late to stuff. This is the video about my experience at tfnation 2023. So, as always, enjoyed meeting my friends. The convention was great. It all started off with me sadly feeling kinda sick. I think I got like food poisoning when I drove to the airport, and I don't know, I simply felt awful. I could describe it to you how I threw up and felt like dying throughout my whole flight, but I don't think you're here for that. As I flew, it was nice. I talked with a really nice lady next to me. She was Polish, coming back from vacation in Poland back to London. In London, I of course met up with my dad and his girlfriend. I spent one day at his home. Since I felt really awful, I didn't have enough energy to go anywhere. Next day, I drove to Birmingham with my father, and he picked up some guys from a band called BHP. The only thing I remember about them is that my dad mentioned that they play songs about Bionicles. I couldn't find them anywhere on internet, so I can't say if they do or don't, I don't know. So yeah, after driving to Birmingham, I stayed at this hotel, which name I don't remember, but picture will appear here. It was a bit iffy. The man that checked us in was really nice. He was a really nice person, really talkative, nice. But the first room they got, the TV was broken. So I asked for a different room, and man, maybe I have some videos of the room, but it was so cramped. Like damn. But it worked. I had I had the bed, I had a wardrobe, I had a bathroom that was the size of if this was the whole bathroom, this part is the toilet, and here we have a shower.
El su casa, el mi casa. Da bed, da biurko, da zlew, da telewizor, którego nie działa. Da kibel.
Of course I don't mind that much. At least the TV worked in the second hotel room. I mostly watch CITV on that channel. I think from what I read it's like a public access channel. I also watched it last year, and man, there's something really nostalgic to the channel. It reminds me of how I used to go to my friend's grandma when I was young and I couldn't stay alone at my house. They simply dropped me off at the house of my friend's grandma, and the only TV channels that she had were like public access, Mango tele commercials, and Polsat Jim Jam. CITV is the same concept. They played a lot of open public access or really cheap shows. If you want a Scooby-Doo, they have all most of the modern ones. Mystery Incorporated, Be Cool, and Guess Who. I love Scooby-Doo, so I for sure didn't get bored when I was waiting for my breakfast or when I came back. When I came back from the convention, most of the time the channel wasn't active since it's off. When it's 20 to 30, the channel turns off for some reason. I notice a lot of UK channels do that. After I set up myself in my room, I went to a local shop.
Going off to get some food before tfnation starts tomorrow. Can't wait to see many different people there. Like my buddies from last year. Or maybe the famous YouTubers that will be there. You know, the Australian ones. There's also a Canadian one from what I remember. Can't wait to see them.
Yeah, it was a nice food store. I think it was literally called food store. I saw, of course, man, England, at least British people. I don't want to sound mean, but your food is awful. The only bread that they took was sweet, and you had 2 packets of ham. Other ones were spam and mixed cornbread meat. Also got myself some juice. Saw Monopoly Man for some reason. I don't know. I think I can't escape Hasbro whenever I go.
Got some food from grocery store. Now I'm coming home. It's some bad ham, bread, and the water, the taste of strawberry. Let's see if it will taste truly like a strawberry, or will it leave sometimes those water that have a juice flavor leave staining sensation in my mouth. I don't know how to describe it. I just nudged myself I don't remember how is pokrzywa in English, but starting to sitting. Oh, poison ivy, yeah. I stung myself with. Great.
I even saw some toys in that store. They have a Nerf Rebel bow and it was 10 quid, so... So yeah, it was a nice walk. I really enjoyed walking through like a British little city. Like the side views of Birmingham. It was nice to see it. So after that it was the first day of tfnation, but before that let me also talk about the breakfast at the hotel. Man, they didn't have like anything savory. You had croissants, plain white bread and jams. And also you had milk, but it was hot milk. As in, it wasn't refrigerated. And like oats and cereal. I didn't feel really filled up that when I was on the convention. Later when I went to tfnation it was a 50-minute walk.
Going off to first day of TFN. Can't wait to see my friends. Oh boy. This year I didn't like take any special events since I'm not really interested in those panels on Fridays. So I decided to save up money for Saturday.
Yeah, my father chose not the best of hotels, but I think simply all other ones were already booked. On the first day I decided to walk there. It was a really weird way, going through some like back-ass weird places, which, you know, it's hard to describe. Well, no, it's not hard to describe, like, it's simply a weird way, but it was nice walking around. I saw like a crashed up G Fuel Knuckles can.
I'm here, I'm at the place, it's the Hilton Hotel. Yeah baby, here we go.
And when I finally got to tfnation, this year I didn't buy a band for Friday. I simply decided that I won't go to any panels. So I simply sat down in the bar and I chilled out. I had... Oh, that's actually a pretty interesting story. This year I brought with myself Beast Wars Basklo.
Going to tfnation tomorrow. I have Basklo with me. If you see a fat young adult with a iguana mantis, say hi.
He's behind the camera. Sorry, I don't have the figure with me. And cause I managed to get him, and I got him because I really think Beast was surprising. But it will be important in a second. So I sat around. I think I sat next to like a girl that she did like a custom sound wave from the Histang Megatron. She showed it off and it looked so cool. Maybe I will link her Twitter now. It will appear if I remember to do it. I also met up this year with one new person. I don't know if they wanted me to mention that, but they know who they are. Thank you. It was nice meeting you. And yeah, this year I mostly like, you know, chilled around, talked with people, met up with my friends who... One of them gave me Beast Wars Wolfang, the one that came out, that appeared in B&M's for like 6 quid out of nowhere. But yeah, here comes the important part. So I had my Beast Wars Man-Terror set up, and he was holding this. Oh, sorry, the camera is reversed, but simply ask me about Beast Wars Uprising. Beast Wars Uprising is like a really niche series of Transformers botcon stories written by Jim Sorenson with help from some other people. And why I'm specifically mentioning Jim Sorenson? Because Jim Sorenson was a guest this year, and he simply came up to me and said, "Oh yeah, so tell me about Beast Wars Uprising." What do I tell you about Beast Wars Uprising? You made it! I don't think it's possible on like any other convention where one of the guests simply walks up to you and starts a chit chat. But yeah, this year I talked a lot with Jim Sorenson, one of my heroes. Like, I have him really high in my regards for Transformers creators, since he's simply so great in like digging up obscure lore and repurposing it in creative ways. When I work on my like fanfics or stories that I do, my like fan-made bios or something, I really try to manifest my inner Jim Sorenson. So simply having him able to like talk to me, like in my face, I fucking gave him a tissue and his coffee spilled. Wow. But yeah, let me look at the plan. Friday was mostly like Mother City had like a Gundam panel. I took a picture of that, but as I said, I didn't have the band, so I wasn't allowed to go there. Like Friday was mostly me talking and chatting with people day.
Book made by Watapan about Wheelie. I love it. They gave postcards with the ticket for some reason. Also, my friend gave me as a gift vintage Wolfgang and this tiny blue Beetleborg. So yeah, even though the first day didn't have any stalls, it was still a nice experience, and I managed to get some toys. So yeah, hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye.
It's the start of day 2. This is the one where you can actually get toys.
Where I again met up with my friends. I always go to the tfnation really early. I think it's like 7 a.m. because I don't have a lot of stuff to do in my hotel. So since my hotel was far away this year, I decided to use a cab. I bolted myself to tfnation and I Ubered myself back to my hotel since no Bolt driver was around the hotel, which is weird because. But I also noticed, why is Uber 2 times pricier than Bolt? From what I remember, also when I got to the hotel from the convention on Friday, this is when I like the person that checks you in started talking up with me. He was like, "Oh, Transformers! Yeah, I get this. My son loves them. Oh," I felt kind of awkward because like random people don't ask me about Transformers every day, but. It's still nice. He was a nice person, that you can say for sure. Saturday again, I prepared myself in the hotel, got up, and yeah, this met again with my friends. I don't think I was on any of the panels. From what I remember, well, I was on the ClubCon. I loved it. I also was, of course, at the dealers hall. There will be a section where I show you of all the toys they got on the hall, but that's later. I was at the ClubCon, where of course the cosplays were really nice this year. The guy can I say that I befriended the guy that won place as Getaway? He looked great. Maybe I will also put his Twitter like here if he wants to. I will need to ask. There was the script reading, which I really enjoyed. I always like the script readings.
My function here tonight is to provide you with comedy. As such, I have devised jokes that will generate maximum amusement. Query. How can one tell that Unicron likes jewelry? I am pausing for dramatic tension. Answer. Because he has a giant ring. Interesting. I will go on. This is the basics of comedy. A joke is defined as something that someone says to cause amusement or laughter, especially a story with a funny punchline.
Of course he's explaining the jokes.
And I kind of missed them out since they didn't happen for a long time. It was a really good thing to it was really interesting to simply see a bunch of random characters like interacting with each other. I wonder if Simon Furman knew what level of fanfiction writing he will bring in when he made up the concept of Macadam's oil bar. The Matrix test this year was a bit easier. Like, no joke, I want to say it was a bit easier. And sadly I didn't stay for the concert that Jehen had, since I don't like concerts, they're way too loud for me. But I did sit in the bar with my friends, we talked around. On Saturday, this year's theme of me getting stuff was mostly minicons. I was in this vibe, I need to get more minicons. And man, as you will see in the buying section, I got a lot of minicons. Even though I technically didn't buy that much stuff this year. Like this year I went back home with weirdly a lot of money. which I didn't expect. So yeah, what can I also say about Saturday? I met some of the actors. Jeremy Levi, he was a really nice person. It was nice seeing him. Even though I really had issue with getting some Bumblebee for him to sign me. So yeah, Jeremy Levi, he was a really nice person. It was good to see him. I hope he will one day return as he has a lot of energy. I hope that he one day will return again in Transformers media. It was nice that he is the first voice of Whirl ever, but I feel that his Whirl and his Bumblebee are a bit too close. During the script reading, sometimes I heard that he is losing the voice of one of the characters and they're suddenly turning the other. Meeting with Susan Blue was a bit awkward because she's mostly a voice director. And I watched most of my stuff in Polish, so I simply oh yeah, I didn't watch a lot of your stuff, but it's still nice to see you. Although she looked a bit terrified, being on a convention that big kinda overwhelmed her. David Sobolov was a really nice man. Dude has a booming voice. I don't know how else I can describe it. He sounds wow. Of course I got all of the stuff signed, see, I have the signatures of people here, well, except I think I forgot these two, and this one, he couldn't attend the whole convention, so after his panel on Friday he simply disappeared. But here I have the whole page with the signatures. They all look great. As always, Jay Roberts, Nick Roche, they appear every year. It was really awkward meeting with Jim Sorenson for him to sign my plan, because he was like, "Oh, him, hey again!" He said hi to me I know I don't deserve it. I love Jim Sorenson, if you didn't know. Sunday was mostly the same, kind of ping-ponging between the trader hall and the main bar to chat with friends and hang out.
Day 3, got really early because I don't have anything to do.
But yeah, even after the convention ended, I kind of stayed with my friends a bit. We went to Pizza Express and I got myself a margarita. It was fine. I know that normally my tradition for eating at TFNation is Nando's, but the friend that I mentioned earlier, they have issues with their stomach, so they can't eat spicy food. So it was Pizza Express, and it was okay. It's a bit pricey. So yeah, we mostly hang out. That's the best part about TFNation, simply the ability to hang out with people you don't know and instantly make friends. You can just walk up to somebody and go "Hey, do you like my robot?" That's a thing that I asked everyone this year on TFNation when I had Baslow. I was asking, what is he a fuser of? Because he's supposed to be an iguana and a mantis. And I can see the mantis part, but the iguana bit is really forced. Maybe the claws only on his feet in beast mode. But that's a little thing, nothing important. So yeah, this year's TFNation was mostly a social event for me. It was really fun, really nice. I went back to my hotel, and from what I remember, the shower didn't also to work. It wasn't the best hotel. Nice stuff, but hotel itself kind of sucked. So I remember that I was interviewed by a person. She was Dolly B or something like that. She recently made a video showcasing the cosplays and a slideshow. I was interviewed by her, so maybe you can see me on her video. If it will happen, I will probably have it linked somewhere. So yeah, as always, TFNation is the best when it's simply a social gathering, meeting of friends. It's a really nice event, and I hope I will go there again next year. I don't know what also I can say. I went back home to my father's, stayed there the rest of the day, woke up next day, went to the airport, got myself some beef with rice. It was really good. Yum. Flight back home, and yeah. Now, Silver from the past. Show what toys I got. Okay, so Silver from the past, or future, probably now told you all about TFNation. So let's look at the toys I brought with myself. Yippee! Starting with day 1, we have this. It's Beast Wars Vintage Reissue Wolfang. It was a gift from a friend of mine called... Again, I'm not sure if they want to be named here, but he knows who he is. It's the one that appeared in B&M's for like 6 quid. He gave it to me as a gift. I'm really grateful. I have no words. This is a really cool toy. One of the better like deluxes. He aged really great. I can see why they decided to bring back this mold. Sadly, I'm not going to show it to you now, but the spring launcher gimmick got a bit neutered. Like it shoots weaker, but that's what I expected from a toy that needed to comply with current day's safety standards. We have the postcard collection. Those were given for free with tickets to tfnation. It's Optimus, Megatron, Bumblebee, Starscream, Grimlock, Shockwave, RC, Soundwave, Slag, a vertical swoop, Sludge, Snarl, Grimlock again, and a nice look through all of the Dinobots. Those postcards probably won't be as viable as stamps that came from the same series, but it's still nice to own them. A little magazine from Wadapan, he gave it for free on tfnation. It's about Willy. I haven't read it yet, but it's a really nice... It's like a really nice format where you can actually read it as a book, or you can open it up and you have a short prose story. That's really nice. I need to get GDO Willy someday, cause like... sorry if you can hear my dog in the background. I need to get GDO Willy since it's a really cool toy. Up we have the sorry, I can't pronounce the name. RRCO magazine. That's also really cool. It's like a compilation of a bunch of small reviews of different Transformers. Oh, here it is, Wadapon, the one he made. Review of Dracodon from Kingdom. Galaxy Shuttle. It's, you know, like a compilation of many different famous internet reviewers. Who knows, maybe one day I will also be here. I hope. And also from the same friend that gave me Wolfang is this small blue Beetleborg. He didn't know what it was and was like, hey Silva, do you know what it is? And was like, yo, it's Big Bad Beetleborg. So yeah, that was all for Friday. Let's get into Saturday. Saturday was mostly like Minicon centric. Like, it's hard for me to describe it. But let's start off with a not Minicon. It's the Transformers UK magazine, Kneel Before Zod, celebrating the 40th anniversary of GoBots. I read through it, it's like a really nice story. Oh, they talk about a video game where a character that was adapted into GoBots appears. Some like short comics. Not gonna lie, I want to take a picture based on this with Jazz and Scooter. A whole collection, they give an overview of all GoBots released in the first basic series. It's great since I love GoBots. I feel it will help me with like collecting them all, even though when I'm looking like, oh yeah, this one is really cool, and he only came out in Japan. Damn. So next up we have a bunch of Minicons that I got from many vendors. Where can I start? We have Starscream Boomerang from Arms Micron, and wow. Okay, so it's there was a drag performer on this year's cosplay contest, and I kinda can't look at this form of a boomerang again without thinking of them. So yeah, this is like a part of a combo weapon that goes with the Megatron cannon and like the laser gun that turns into a dragonfly. I don't have that, so it's another thing that I need to collect. From like some rarer ones, we have Lost Age Astro Train. It's a Japan-only redeco of Pathfinder, was his name? Sorry, I'm not sure now. And can also be used as Shatterglass Cybax. It's fully translucent. To get it, you needed to pay like few hundred yen on like a photo store? I don't know, I'm not sure. Next up we have Classics Broadside. I already had the grey version of this mold when I was a kid, and I always found it like really annoying. Also the cannon loves to break off since it's simply really long and thin piece. And also the annoying bit is that his arms are so thin and you need nails to simply scale them off. I'm not going to play around with it now since I don't have time. Ratchet Spanner, which is a little ratchet that turns into a spanner. And spanner is a British term for a key to like fix things up. I feel it's a rather unique alt mode that we don't see a lot of minicons in it. Even though it's that had a bit for a spanner, but I'm sure I can give it like a ratchet to hold. We have this Cyber Planet key that was added to the magazine. Gavin gave it away with any of the purchase. You can get a cyber key or a small decoy figure. Also got one of the Transformers 2010 minicons. I think this one is named like Swashblade or something like that. I don't know, he's a redeco of the Recon team from Cybertron of Jolt, and they are kinda rare, so I mean Jolt is kinda rare. Those guys, they aren't. The only issue is that they only came out in US. Well, not only. They are only widely available in USA, so getting them in Europe is a bit of a pain in the ass. Next up we have Rav, I think, from this Dinobots minicon set. Lovely paint, I love the gold and red combination, he looks fantastic. Even though I'm missing his partners, I saw that like Toifu had a complete set, so maybe next year I will replace them. Also got my first Japan only minicon. This is Beat, also a redeco of Jolt from Cybertron. He looks really nice. Ask Vector Prime said that he's an engineer. By the way, I got him, Skid Plate and Astro Train from one store. They were all like £5 each, and like I think from what they said on Mandarake, Astro Train is like 7, so I can say it was a deal. And the biggest thing that I got was a whole baggie of crayons. I hope video of unboxing them comes out before this video, since you won't get any surprise. We have Misfire, who for some reason is an Autobot. Also from what one of the writers said, Shattered Glass Misfire uses this color scheme. We have Cybertron Snarl with his weird dog face arm. One of the original characters whose name I don't remember. Another original character, but I remember his name. It was Silver Snout, Triptychon, Scrapnel, Jalugar, Nightbeat / Punch, Jetwash, aka Jetfire, Wingspan, Highbrow, who if you look closely you can see that he's a Decepticon for some reason, and Mindswipe, who is mind wiped with name change due to copyrights. Oh, I feel someone lost a hand. No, sorry, it was just a little spot. Oh yeah, also, I think this was Dive Bomb, I'm not sure. I already owned one of these, but he was missing an arm, so I got him to replace him, and now I have a complete team, UP. So yeah, I think that was everything for Saturday. I actually forgot something. My first purchase was the screw switch from Kamen Rider Fose, since it was the only one that I was missing to complete my collection. Let's check it out. £4 for that, but at least I have all of them. Okay, let's get with Saturday, and it was yet again more minicons. This year I was simply in like a really big minicon mood, so I decided to get a lot of them. We have Burning OP, the partner of Optimus Prime. Camera focus. Yeah, here it is. A.K.A, I think is her name, like a silver version. That's more accurate to the show, since of course the original toy was pink. We have B.H.A, partner of Bulkhead, that can actually turn into a small ball and on a chain. That's awesome. Those all came from like individual releases they did later in the series. That's why he's like blue and not green. We have Shijay, I think that's how to pronounce his name, green version, partner of Cliffjumper. Ida from the Galaxy Bowgun set, she's the partner of Arachnid. Well, I think he's he, and he calls Arachnid his mommy, from what I remember, I'm not sure. We have Emen, I think, Moon. It's the partner of Lyo Convoy, and I also seen that they had Lyo Convoy, and it was missing this one, so I feel kinda awkward. Sorry, Toyfu, maybe next year I will buy Lyo Convoy. We have Bogu, I think is his name. He's based on a buffalo, and the original silver version is partner of Skywarp, and this brown version was an individual release. It's a really cute thing. I think maybe it's just like a mechanimal that was used for weapon. And we also have Aimless. He was also exclusive to Japan. You could only get him by paying enough money on, I think it was Toys R Us, I'm not fully sure. Next time we have Go from Gano, from Transformers Go. Sadly he broke a little with his peg here, so I need to be careful so his head won't fall off. But here he is. He turns into a like little saw blade, because of course that's a weapon for a samurai. We also have the fusion cannon of Megatron, who of course is a gorilla named Gora, from what I remember. By the way, I'm not fully sure with their names. Oh frick, it got a bit loose here. Oh, here he is. Remember, in Japan, every time Megatron shot his fusion cannon, he had a giant monkey on his back. There's like a joke with him overusing Dark Energon, but I'm not sure what to think of it. To continue stuff that I got from Toyfu, we have Revenge of the Fallen Deadlift. He's actually kinda rare, since he was a Walmart exclusive, came only in a set with a Beachcomber, and I got him cause he is a GoBots reference. Yeah, cause I love GoBots. To be exact, he's a reference to a GoBot named Spoons, who was also a orange forklift. You get the joke? He's a forklift, but he's named Spoons, so it's like changing a bit. Even though in Poland we do call the forks of a forklift spoons, so it's interesting. But yeah, it's nice to have him. He's a rather rare toy. I have like a saga with a friend of mine. You remember the one that sold me Gears, the Mech Fans Toys one? He also wanted it for years, so yeah, Chief, you can find it. Just be on the lookout. And last thing that I got from Toyfu, it's it's Adventure Scorponok, the Japanese version with much better paint. They replaced like all of the I'm constantly accidentally popping it off. They replaced all the stuff that's normally like charcoal gray with it's kind of like this greenish black. It's hard for me to say. For sure, I love the caramel-like plastic swirls. I remember when I walked out of the hotel holding him, he looked great in the sun. Looking at this toy, he kinda makes me want to do a re-review, since, I don't know, I'm not that proud of the original Red 15 Scorponok review. It's way too short, it doesn't go like in depth on all the design details. Like, I feel I didn't treat him that well. But now with a much better paint job, I could do a proper video about him. Sorry, the camera seems that it doesn't like to focus now. But yeah, here he is in his long glory, with tail in the sword. Next up we have A tiny little decoy trailbreaker. You don't know how hard it is to find one without his stuff broken off. I think I paid like 10 quid for it, and I don't mind. It's another thing for the trailbreaker shelf. Next up we have Cybertron Hardtop. He also got a bit rare since you know, he appeared in Earth's Back, so now people know that Hardtop is a character, so they want him. I got it from the same person. I remember the person had like the same they shared a booth with Nonef. So yeah, here he is, Hardtop in his full glory, lovely one. From the same person I got Energon Cliffjumper. I was missing him for a long time. I couldn't find him for a decent price. And fun fact, it's the Japanese Super Link release, because you can see he has the golden plating on the inside. He was only 40 quid, which isn't that bad. And for my final purchase this year, it was Doctor Wu Scraplet. Because there was a booth that sold one for a $5, and I got him because me with my friends, they got Cyberverse Scraplets, so we had like a whole theme. We even called each other Scraplets on the Allspark quiz. So yeah, I didn't want to feel left out, so I bought him like in the last second. From what I remember, we named him Dentat. So it was another friend's idea. If Silver from the past talked about her, she was like the new one that joined us this year. It was her first tfnation, she enjoyed it. So yeah, that was the whole haul of the year. Silver from the future, past, time is relative. I'm giving the mic back to you. Oh, I also forgot, I took a Nerf dart from the person that cosplayed Rhinox. Sorry, it was simply lying on the ground and I thought, it's mine. It's a memorabilia. Thank you, Rhinox cosplaying person. A silver foil day later, I also remember that I got Jeremy Levi to sign me this one-step Bumblebee. He was great, he was a great person. Thank you, Silver from the past. So yeah, that was all for my tfnation video. I don't know what else can I say. I want to thank all of my friends who were there with me. I want to thank my father and family that helped me with preparing this and sponsoring me partially. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like, subscribe to the video, and I hope I will see you on tfnation in 2024. Bye.